Woo! Whoa! Hey! 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 I can see you. Um. Okay. Welcome. Well, ain't nobody welcome but us, huh? Well, I I will open my sparkling water and wait for the ones that won't communicate to communicate. That book as well. Nee. Mario in the building. What's up? Yeah, I almost half expect a lurker tonight. that should be fun. Um, hey, Grand Madam, what's up, Queen Mother? What's going on? And Groovy in the building. What's good? I like when y'all pull up early. Then I could get started early. And then we could get finished early. Cause I know, a lot of y'all on the East Coast, and it's like 9:30 when I start. So, I'm not trying to keep y'all up all night unless y'all want to stay up all night. I stayed up all night. I didn't mean to stay up all night. But I had a caffeinated beverage after 6 p.m. And I know better. I know better. You know what I mean? It is what it is. These oh, what's good? What's good, dude? What's good? What's good? What's good? Okay, y'all pulling up, pulling in, pulling up, pulling in. Okay, pull up a seat. We about to get started here in a minute. I got a few things I want to rant and rave. 8:32, you Midwest. Yeah, Midwest. But yeah, I get it. I get it, but I know we got, Grand Madam and B more, you know what I mean? So that's all the way east. That's east as east gets. And so we know, yo. Hey, what's up, Diabolical? What's up? What's up? What's up? No notification. Is that right? Oh, well, I'm in StreamYard, so I can't check it. I have to. Anyway, all good. All good. Uh-oh. Gotta go surveillance. Somebody sneaking off. She just emptying the trash. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have them cameras up, get your little angles and see little areas of your house that, Gray in the building, Gray in the building. And where there is a Gray, there is another somebody. Right? Right. Okay. It's enough. Good Lord, y'all. Ooh. Okay. Professor, what's good? What's going on? Y'all up in here tonight. I set my notification and still didn't notify me. I just happened to check the time and remembered. Huh. I'll look into it, see if it's anything I can do on my part after this live. But anyway, since y'all are all here now, what I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and kick it off. There's Keita. I knew Keita was going to pull up. Keita always pulls up. Keita is my friend. Okay. You know what? Let me do it like this. Since I have all these wonderful visual aids, why don't we utilize them? I shall decrease, and boom, let that increase. Black Panther T'Challa Declassified. Now, we've been talking about this book. And make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, this is a book, not a comic. It does have pictures from comics in it, but it is first and foremost a book. That being said, what is this book, you might ask? I think it is a more concise and in-depth collection of information that gives you a deeper insight into individuals and events you may already have been aware of, or like a big oh-ish moment for others. Okay. Of course, it's about T'Challa, so it tells his origin. It tells maybe a couple of other people's origins, or mentions them, because this book is supposed to be compiled notes, files, communiques from Kimoyo beads that were declassified to be looked at, that kind of a thing. You got narrative by folks like Changameyer. You got narrative from folks like Mindanao, Hunter. A lot of even talks about even T'Challa's personal journal that he did on his walkabout. So, and you've got imagery from everything from the Priest run, the Hutland run, the Coach run, Legends of Wakanda, and a couple of other publications that, if I try real hard, I can give the location to what they are. Real quick, because I see y'all are occupying the heck out of the comments. But real quick, there were a lot of people that gave like these declassified reports, like Everett Ross. I don't know if you see that, Joint Regional Strategy Bureau of African Affairs. And Everett Ross gives this nice long dissertation about what he thought about T'Challa. Now, this the guy whose report, as soon as I saw his name, I wanted to read it. Gyrick, oh, I know he gonna be talking some ish, but I got surprised. Look at this. When it comes to his summary, this is Henry Peter Gyrick's summary of the man known as T'Challa. T'Challa is the king of a sovereign nation that doesn't need us. According to Agent Ross's reports, T'Challa's two biggest weapons are his cunning and misdirection. Remember that, Black Panther fan group. Through secondary channels, he is suspected of having exerted economic pressures, covert aid, and political machinations to many nations across the continent. It is my opinion that King T'Challa demonstrates nerve to question our motives and values, and yet he feels no need to owe us explanations. He believes, rightly so, that we have no leverage over him or his country. We should assume that if we have any intelligence on him or its kingdom, then it is because King T'Challa wants us to know that information. Let me read that last part one more again for you. We should assume that if we have any intelligence on him or his kingdom, it is because T'Challa wants us to know that information. He can only be viewed as a rogue actor and his nation a rogue nation, a threat to the sovereignty of U.S. proactive measures. A threat to the sovereignty of the U.S. Threat to the sovereignty of the U.S.? threat to the sovereignty of the U.S. Proactive measures must be taken to safeguard our interests. Yeah, Gyrick, like bringing zombie troops to Wakanda. Punk ass. Anyway, I believe it's time. We'll get back to this, but let me fill some comments because there's a bunch of them. Holy Nikes. And mostly y'all chit-chatting with each other. Webster's Wakanda Files. Maybe more Punisher War Journal dossier. How about a synthesis of both Kamoyo and Dee Diesel? Grand Madam say, yeah, that sounds like T'Challa. That right there was what I was thinking, Greg. Yeah, that must have hurt his soul to write that report. You talking about white tears? Oh my goodness, he was crying some crocodile white tears. Goodness gracious, they don't need us. You know, the message must be taken. My goodness. Okay. You say Cable had files on everyone too. And it's not so much a collection of files, it's conversations. It's like testimonies, it's bios, it's all of that. Let me see. Because we got a whole chapter called Origins. That's just the first chapter. And they go back. They go all the way back because we talking about Changemeyer, and we know who Changemeyer is. And Changemeyer kicks his story off, not about anything diplomatic, but the Orisha. Yeah. The Orisha. So this is more of a history, a compilation of information and data than a dossier per se. And then we have the making of the king, where Hunter talks about his relationship with T'Challa and how they got into fights and all of that kind of thing. And you remember that picture there. That's T'Challa and Zuri practicing. And there was a snake that was going to bite Hunter. I mean, it was going to bite T'Challa, or that he thought was going to bite T'Challa, and used his slingshot to hit the snake. But by hitting the snake, it threw T'Challa's concentration off and allowed Zuri to defeat him. So they had issues then. And the whole dissertation starts with, I love my brother, I hate my brother. And that's always the dynamic between Hunter and T'Challa. Honor bound, but I hate your ass. Kind of like that. Hey, Theo, how you doing? We talk about the stuff that's in Black Panther T'Challa Declassified, and it tells the story about, from Changamai's perspective, from Hunter's perspective. There's even some stuff in here from Aurora. See, you got all of that right there. Look at that. That's how Hunter's supposed to look, y'all. That's how Hunter's supposed to look. Man, if I could get a Burt Reynolds head sculpt, that'd be the perfect Hunter. Got them lily white teeth. And did you know that immediately after the death of T'Chaka is when Ramonda turned up missing? Even then, that Andrew what's his name? Deputer, that the guy from South Africa, even back then, he was, being dusty and grimy and snatching Ramunda up and taking her down there to friggin' white land. And if that happened immediately after T'Chaka died, how long was Ramunda down there with them white folks? Makes one think. And you know what was happening to her while she was there? They were just treating her the worstest way she could have possibly been treated. So it's like, why didn't they come for her? Ain't that what we always say about African people? Why didn't y'all come for us? That part. There was one part I was looking for here. They gathered to mourn the king. And Claw. Let's talk about Claw. Ulysses S. and Fritz. Okay. Now, there was a line. Who wrote this? Maurice Broadus. Bruh, you doing the damn thing. Now, gotta find it. Where is it at? As the Black Panther, T'Challa has defeated Claw on many occasions. But until he has truly avenged his father's death. Hang on a second, John. T'Challa has defeated Claw on many occasions, but until he has truly avenged his father's murder, Ulysses S. Claw will represent an open wound in his soul. My goodness. As he is the man who took away the life of and his relationship with his father. MCU, are you listening? An open wound in my soul. An open wound in my soul. Powerful. It is an injustice that T'Challa may be unable to correct. As a warrior, his honor will take a hit every time Claw manages to reemerge. Thus, Claw will continue to shape and form how T'Challa is perceived as a leader. What do we think about that one? Oh, y'all just like, hey, hello, hi, how you doing? But overall, if you want to have a much more, I'm about halfway to the halfway point, and I just started reading it yesterday. So that's how chock full of information and interesting reading and revelations and things like that. How is it that Claw can hide from T'Challa? Because sometimes after a battle, Claw's essence is dispersed, but somehow it manages to reform, or through the machinations of some other villain or some other party, Claw ends up getting reconstituted. Like after he had got dispersed during the Jack Kirby run I think it was the last issue. I think it was issue 15. He got reformed. The Beyonder even reformed him for Secret Wars. Well, he didn't actually reform him, but Doctor Doom had carved him up into pieces and made him crazy. We're gonna have to talk about Secret Wars sometime. We really gonna have to talk about the Secret Wars, because using the name Secret Wars and not being, you know what I'm saying, regurgitated, that's a different story. Anyways, though, that's how Claw could hide. Also, Claw could hide if there was something. Vibranium does not vibranium dampen sound waves. Claws live in solidified sound. If he's inside of something where, lots of reasons, T'Challa ain't checking for him. For one, that's exactly what I was thinking, Theo. That means Zemo should be maimed in the movies, and we should get more Claw in the comics. If he leaving a hole in your soul, you know what I mean? That's somebody I be, putting my best foot forward to hunt down and either incarcerate or eliminate, one or the other. But yeah, it just further testimony to the fact that, the people that were dealing with the cinematic version of him didn't care enough about his intensity, or, give it that deeper look than it should have got. Still trying to calculate how long Ramonda was a captive. Okay, let's do it like this. From what I can see, if we go by a Marvel timeline, Kamoyo, even the updated one, let's go with the updated one. Let's say T'Challa was born in the 80s. Go with that. T'Challa was born in the 80s. He's a child of the 80s. And everything that takes place in the Marvel universe, its growth, its development, when it starts to happen, happens in the 80s and not the 60s. So if we're talking the 80s, and T'Chaka is the Black Panther prior to the Age of Heroes rising, that's around about 70s. Thereabouts. 70s. Nah, it's in the 80s. It's in the 80s. Yeah, let's go 80s. It's 80s. Claw comes, because even in this book, it talks about Claw coming and Claw trying to procure mining rights to the vibranium mound. But he was doing it in such a strong arm South African guy way that T'Chaka was like, get the out of my kingdom. And then, y'all read Rise of the Black Panther. Y'all know what happened. T'Chaka got into it with Claw's operatives, and Claw was bearing down to shoot young T'Challa, and T'Chaka jumped in the way and took the brunt of it and was killed. So as far as, we still calculating, right? In the midst of all of that, this the Reuter guy took Ramonda to Pretorius. So, Pretoria. And T'Challa's got to grow and learn and get educated. So that's through the 80s and the 90s. Right? So we got the whole college thing, studying abroad thing, 90s, and then 2000s, you running up on the Fantastic Four. So at least 20 years? Wow. You'd think he forgot about her. That book's like the legacy virus to the studio. Yes. No excuses. None. I mean, and this book, from what I've read so far, they got even less excuses. You know what I'm saying? To me, it seemed like they were trying to make Claw into like a Joker almost. Why you have that? Why do we have to have that homicidal type guy like that all the time? You know, he was a little more calm in Age of Ultron. I would have liked that Claw. You know, I ain't scared of you. I don't care what kind of powers you got. Are you a big giant? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Hey, Paul Martin, what's up? He despises T'Challa because Azuri killed his father. Azuri actually maimed his father. Cut off his hand. Oh, grandfather. I think it is. World War II, grandfather. Let's go grandfather if it's World War II. So he hacked off the hand. Yeah. That's a long time. That's a long time to be exposed. Ramonda is a woman of supreme patience and faith. That makes it even worse with them leaving out Sion for Njobu, because that means Sion was raising 3 children who weren't his for a length of time. He was raising his nephews and his niece. There was no real connection between Claw and T'Chaka on film. Real connection? How about no connection? Maybe we alluded to the fact that he got caught stealing in Wakanda and got branded. So you see, even T'Chaka's like, we ain't having that. You know what I'm saying? You come up in here, something's happening to you. You ain't just walking away. You gonna face Wakanda justice. And that is what T'Challa would have done. T'Challa would have made him face Wakanda justice, not bitch up and be like, okay, y'all can have them. The living are not done with you yet. Nah. Claw, Stain, Cross, and Red Skull were really the only truly evil TOS villains in the MCU. Oh, yeah, you said Claw. Yeah, the misunderstood, misguided villain. Blah, blah. Yeah, Zemo needs his face hurt. That's what Zemo need that face dealt with. You know what I'm saying? Because it's an ugly thing. You know what I mean? That's what endears us to Zemo. But perfect segue. Perfect segue. Perfect segue. Perfect segue. Speaking of ugly things. Speaking of ugly things. What's up with that, y'all? What's up with that, y'all? What's up with that, y'all? You know what somebody told me this morning? You know what somebody told me this morning about this? Do you know what somebody told me about this morning? It ain't an issue because the characters ain't been around for a long time. It's not an issue because the characters ain't been around for a long time. What kind of Mickey Mouse BS is that? You know what I'm saying? So, just from researching, gang, just from researching, I have learned the only things that has in common with the classic is that the family last name is Evans and the name of the show is Good Time. Other than that, so the question becomes, why make it? Because now you saw, like in the video that I do for this, that would have been a great animated Good Time. Why didn't we animate that right there? That shit right there. And you could have did that for any era at any time because all of them people still alive except one. So you had all this time in between 74 and now that you could have came up with a good animated version based on source material, based on canon, but you didn't do it. Now, I ain't mad at the actors themselves who are taking part in this, but the people who okayed this, Seth MacFarlane, Norman Lear. Ooh. I ain't gonna say nothing bad about Seth MacFarlane or Norman Lear. I'm gonna let y'all do it. Because I want to keep broadcasting stuff. And I don't want the algorithm fucking with me. You understand? So we do the same thing with this that we do with anything we don't want to be successful or we don't feel like deserves to be successful. Because number one, just like with Recast T'Challa, like I said in my video, you didn't take the audience into consideration. If you had asked me or you had asked anybody in, I don't know, the world who's ever watched Good Times, why not, if you were going to modernize it, why didn't you just adapt the Evans family to 2024? What does a dirt poor ass family in the hood look like in 2024? All kinds of room for political and economic commentary. I would have loved to see, I would have loved to see Aaron Magruder do Good Times. That would have been fun. I would have loved to see Michael J. White do Good Times. I would have loved to see the Wayans brothers do Good Times. A lot of other people would have been that I feel like would have been a lot more respectful to the source material. I mean, even though Norman Lear created it, but even then he was being predatory. I mean, I was loving watching Good Times, but who black was getting rich off of Good Times? Norman Lear literally made money off of our suffering and felt bad about doing it with Sanford and Son and Good Times, so he did the Jeffersons. Yikes. Y'all in the comments, what are we talking about in the comments? Kamoyo said, I ain't watching that crap. I'm not gonna watch it either. I just wanted to let you know what was going on. Even I read I saw a video with Bernadette Stannis. And she said that she's got a role in one of the episodes. She's doing a voice in one of the episodes, but she was not aware of what the project was when she did the voice work. See how Hollywood do, y'all? Hollywood is grimy. And she said when she found out what the project really was, yeah, dog. Yeah, dog. Like that right there. Is that Elon Musk? I don't know. I don't know because I'm not watching it. So you read that misinformed comment, dude? Cash grab off of a familiar property. And so many people are like that cat Kamoyo, and I was dealing with on my email string this morning. I forget what his name, Killer Disciple or somebody was spouting some bull about, oh, the scream we want to draw the real loud part isn't working. I'm like, see, you giving off troll energy. At first, I'm reading and you sound like you're making sense, but as we got further down, it started sounding like troll energy. And so I was like, when I started clapping back, then he ran away. See, still undisputed, still undefeated champion, troll killer all day. Oh, what we got about good times? If they do the proposed Married with Children reboot, will they make the Bundys more ratchet than they were on the original show? Shit, Paul, I don't know. I don't know if the Bundys can be any more ratchet, bruh. The Bundys are pretty damn ratchet. If you take that ratchet to another level, then I ain't gonna lie, I would be curious. I like to see train wrecks involving those people. Like Shameless. I love watching Shameless with William H. Macy and Emmy Rossum. And yeah, bro, them boy, that is PWT at its finest. Or should I say worse? But then the crazy symmetry is they got a little brother who black. It's weird. It's a weird show. Don't forget about Steph Curry. Steph Curry. Oh, yeah. Bernadette Stannis track. Yeah, she did. I love Bernadette Stannis. Bruh, they literally gave us the hood version of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and our people ate it up. So Netflix is figuring, why not F up another successful black show from back in the day? I'm shut up. Magruder exposed too much. He might be blackballed. If it wasn't called Good Times, we probably wouldn't talk about it. Ding, 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 ding. You bringing it up. Some things you just don't do. You just don't do. Okay? You don't mess with Good Times, and you don't push Stevie Wonder down a flight of stairs. Those are just things you don't do. Everybody gonna come for your head. That's just the way that type of stuff is. And they have done the literal programming equivalent of pushing Stevie Wonder down some steps. It is taking the nostalgia of Good Times and marketing it to a new audience. Let's see how it goes. Just like Disney. Howin'. They did her like they did Kendrick on a song with J. Cole that he didn't even know Cole was going to be on. That's how they did Bernadette. That's exactly how they did it. Like a bunch of ratchet individuals going to an HBCU called A Different World. Killer Boo Boo. Yeah. He lit out. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. That's the more ratchet Married with Children Family Guy. Shameless is like the folks I work with. Oh, bless your heart, Kamoyo. My goodness. My goodness. Oh, my God. You work with some Gallaghers, man. I feel bad for you, dog. I'm afraid. Woo, goodness. Married with Children will be banned today. Exactly, man, because Bundy was busting fat, obese people. He was busting them out. Them big girls come to the shoe store. Oh, my goodness. He'd be on their helmet, wearing them out. And Marcy, oh, my, bruh, you right. You are right, D. Yeah, you couldn't do Married with Children today. Yes, I am one of the few people that is not feeling Bel Air. Theo B, yeah, not a fan of that F Pobe reboot. Okay. Fresh Prince. I got it. Black folks at work call it as the trailer turns. Oh, shit. Theo B, we are not a fan of Fresh Prince reboot. Let me just put it like this. Just because you can take a comedy and turn it into a drama. Exactorino. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I don't watch hood shows. I grew up in the hood. I don't need it glorified on the screen. Okay, let me play devil's advocate. What about an accurate representation? I mean, I get it. Some of it is trauma, but again, if you want to look at it from another aspect, empirical proof that we historically got treated like shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't forget where you came from on the way to where you're going to. I'm not going to say I don't watch any hood shows, but if written well, say what you say, Snowfall was written well. Okay? I know, negative stereotypes, drugs, blah, 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 so on and so forth, but we don't need another depiction. We don't need another New Jack City. Maybe, maybe not. My issue comes when it saturates the screen. When Empire, BMF, Power, all of that's on at the same time. And you ain't got no other programming that you can look at other than, oh, what are the black people doing? Oh, we selling drugs and shooting each other. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie. That's true. They did. But that ain't the only thing we doing. It's not the only demographic. It's not the only aspect. Stop harping on it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I 100% get it. But if it's well written and it's depicted well, you know what I'm saying? When we shut ourselves off 100%, I don't like experimenting on classic franchises. There is an argument that could be presented for not experimenting on classic franchises. Perhaps I will do a video. I am not for reimagining a franchise if it takes it too far out of the realm of where the franchise was. You know what I'm saying? I sat through the first season of Bel Air. Okay. Don't need to watch something terrible to know that it's terrible. I'm not going to say it's terrible. It just wasn't good. That makes sense. That makes sense. Because, I mean, there was some bright spots in there. They had a dark Aunt Viv. They had a dark Hillary. I'm sorry. What we talking about? The last hood show I watched was Power. Credit to Hardwick, the only fictional black drug dealer I didn't hate. I didn't really watch Power. I watched the first season of Power. Say what you will. That was it. I was done after one season, because I could see where it was going. Like, if it's all trauma all the time, then it's tedious. I don't even see OGs looking out for the youngsters or the neighborhood old lady gossip network. We can look out of Kugler's back door. We don't need to see that no more. Okay. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I want black folks in space fighting a dragon, discovering new worlds. Me too. Pump the Afrofuturism. Pump, pump, pump the Afrofuturism. SWAT has Shamar Moore as the only positive black male lead character on TV right now. Shoot. Black male lead character, period. Name another one. Where's another one? The Wire is the last show I watched start to finish. The acting and writing is what kept me engaged. After that, a little bit of Snowfall, but I fell off because I just got tired of the genre. Agreeable, but I was at a point with Snowfall where I had to see how it ends. You know what I'm saying? And when you try to see how something ends, great, it can be magnificent or it can be bittersweet. You could try to see how something ends and it ends bittersweet. Game of Thrones. you know, or you know what I'm saying, you could what, or it can end gloriously. Star Trek: The Next Generation. And it didn't really even end because they started making movies and more TV shows. So yeah, got it. Shamar, ain't that Grand Madam Boo? Hey, say Grand Madam ain't denying it. Diesel, Deep Space Nine. Yes, sir. As I said a few weeks ago, seems like only a handful of people were checking for the number one ladies detective agency. Cisco collecting African antiques on the station. Avery Brooks made sure that some Afroism was interjected into that situation. Speaking of situations, I want to talk about a situation very briefly, and then we can be done with it. That guy right there. That guy right there. Let's talk about that guy right there, shall we? Good. Okay. Arrest warrant issued for Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice in connection with 6-car crash. Dallas police this is today at 3:05 a.m. So this morning. Dang, issued a warrant at 3 in the morning. Wow. Dallas police have issued arrest warrants for Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice and another man in connection with a 6-car crash last month. Rice, 23, and a 21-year-old man will each face 1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count of collision involving serious bodily injury, and 6 counts of collision involving injury, according to the Dallas Police Department. Neither is in custody as of Wednesday evening, police said. CNN has reached out to Rice's attorney and the Chiefs for comment. An NFL spokesperson said, "We continue to monitor developments in the matter." And we already know about the Lamborghini and the Corvette and what ensued after that. Okay. There was injury, not death. Does this man does he deserve to go to jail? And if so, how long? How long does Rashee Rice deserve to go to jail? Because I know y'all are people like me that believe fair is fair. And as much as I love Rashee Rice, as much as I love the Chiefs, that man is effing wrong. And anybody who thinks different, fight me. And I'm a Chiefs fan. So now what? He said, oh yeah, this guy. Rice needs to get ahead of this. A few minutes ahead of it. Yeah, well, he's got a good attorney defending him. He's got the what the state what's the cat's name? Here, I got the article right here. Don't nobody care about him. He catches you caught. Not right now. Dang, where they put his name? I'll look it up. But I would even be satisfied with a suspension and like community service ankle monitor type thing, something like that, not getting off with a slap on the wrist, because if he got to pay for everything that's going on with them people, and I don't know if you've ever been in an accident and people act hurt and they ain't really hurt, but how do you figure out how somebody hurt? They wear a neck brace for a couple months and be like, my pain and suffering was 10 months. I need $30,000, that kind of a thing. So he definitely gonna suffer. But I mean, justice. He needs to get what he deserves for what he done. Not a slap on the wrist. But yeah, I agree. He does need to get ahead of it. Needs to turn himself in and do whatever has to be done to make restitution. No, not jail, but hit his pockets deep. He and his boys walked away from a crash without checking to see if anyone was hurt. Yeah, because they've had some of this in the car. And it's not legal in Dallas. Yeah, I do agree. Hit them pockets, spank them pockets, booty. Spank them, spank them, spank them. It's young and dumb. He 23 years old, y'all. That's young and dumb. You know what I'm saying? That's young and dumb age. Go back to 23 and think about it. You ain't got to put it in the comments if you don't want to, but put it, what was the craziest stuff you did when you was 23? Only difference probably between you and Rashee Rice is he got more money. I was married with 2 children. Okay, good for you. My point being that part, that lobe of the brain with that governs higher logic functions does not mature to the age 25. So I chalk that up to young and dumb. You know what I'm saying? You didn't kill nobody this time. Hope you learned your lesson, boy. Hope you learned your lesson. Hope you learned your lesson. Now, y'all, used to hate to be frivolous, but at least this draft is hella deep at wide receiver. I got it. He needs that license snatched, a hefty fine, 1 year house arrest, 6 to 8 game suspension. Great. That sounds reasonable to me. Now, what I was going to get at, y'all, we getting ready. Let me first say to each and every person in the chat, I care about y'all as much as y'all care about me. I want to see beautiful things happen for you. I want to see you winning. That being said, join me on my quest to end power scaling. What? What you talking about, D? What are you talking about? Okay. Well, I'll tell you. Okay. Your mans and them got a video coming out. I don't know if I'm gonna drop it tonight or drop it tomorrow. I might drop it tonight, but it's about power scaling. And what, ladies and gentlemen, is power scaling? Oh, well, goodness gracious, I'm so glad you asked. Me, your mans and them, D-Real, where edutainment explains it, where edutainment is what the I do, is going to give you here and now a definition of the term power scaling. The unofficial science of weighing abilities and statistics, as well as canonical feats to determine the outcome of a battle between two or more characters. Why do we power scale? Why do we power scale? Wait, I know the feed's a couple seconds behind, so I'll wait until y'all catch up, and I just... Yes, Paul Martin, that is one of the examples that I cite in my upcoming video. If we power scale, how in the actual hell is Spider-Man out fighting not one but two Heralds of Galactus that we know for a fact have greater reaction time, greater speed, greater durability? I know somebody gonna say it, but Spider-Man's always holding back. Not holding back. Spider-Man is tops, what, 25 tons? I know Far-Lord is at least 100-ton class if he going toe-to-toe with Thor and giving Thor a hard time. You telling me Spider-Man can beat Thor? Spidey fought the Silver Surfer all the way back in Silver Surfer's comic book in the 60s. Again, same thing. We always chalk it up to he was holding back. He was holding back. Okay. Is Spidey holding back when he got to deal with the Hulk? Is Spidey holding back in a situation like that? And even if Spidey's not holding back in a situation like that, if Spider-Man goes all out, you telling me he gonna be able to do more than stagger the Hulk? Because canonically, that's all he's ever been able to do. Canonically, Spider-Man has never beaten the Hulk in a fight that didn't have plot armor. Ooh, headed you off at the pass that time, didn't I? In a perfect world, there is no way Spider-Man is beating the Hulk. So why do we do shit like power scale if we know that? You want me to let you in on a little revelation that we never ever considered? And this was the thing that made me go, it's time to stop power scaling. It don't matter how much physics and science and measuring and weighing and calculating that you do to quantify a given character, that is always doomed to failure for two reasons. Reason number one, you are always going to scale in favor of the character you like. We're going to pick out all his best moments. We're going to pick out that time he lifted up a mountain. We're going to pick out that time he punched the moon and it banged into Venus. We're going to pick out that time when, you know what I'm saying? When we scaling. So we scaling up or scaling down. Number two reason that power scaling is always going to fail is because ultimately it is up to the whim of the writer. I don't care how much math and physics you do. If I say Val Armour, the Karate Kid, can chop a big ass chunk of a mountain off, then he can chop a big ass chunk of a mountain off. Physics be damned. See what I'm saying? So why power scale? And why power scale with two characters who ain't even in the same universe? They're not quantified by the same rules. Oh, but if you come over into my universe, then you have to be governed by my rules. Who says? JLA and Avengers was a fantastic miniseries. I love it. But to say an Infinity Gauntlet doesn't operate in this universe, to me, that's a cop-out. An Infinity Gauntlet should just be an Infinity Gauntlet. But that's too much power to give. And the writer knows that. You already got power over this entire universe. You mean we're going to give you power over all universes? Nah, we can't have that. That kind of situation. Why do it? And then the biggest one of all, Superman and Goku. Somebody has to be better. Why? Wouldn't a great way to settle it be they're evenly matched? Because you keep raising Goku's power to put him on a par with Superman. No other reason. Am I giving Goku Super Saiyan God level because I want him to be the strongest character in his universe? Hell, he already is. Oh, I wanted to match up with well, I mean, Broly and a couple others and, Beerus and that kind of thing. But for the most part, ain't nobody fading Goku for the most part. You can name like a handful of folks that can fade Goku, but you know what I'm saying? For the most part, Goku's that cat in his universe. So if Goku's that cat in his universe, then he need to be able to scale up against this cat that's that dude in his universe. Nothing more. Look at the power development. Superman just recently got instant transmission. They don't call it that, but if you can use a device to send me across the universe and I can come back a couple seconds right after you sent me, what's that? instant transmission. Oh, Superman knows Kryptonian martial arts. Bruh. What does Superman need martial arts for any damn way? He's Superman. Superman need to do kung fu on a mountain. Superman need to use the Rao style on Solomon Grundy. Who does Superman fight that he needs an extended set of martial arts? Really, Superman? So that's what power scaling is. One-upsmanship for the fan who doesn't even have control over the variable. Oh, today the Incredible Hulk can breathe fire, but tomorrow he might not be able to breathe fire. Oh, I know he used to have that power, but has he used that power lately? That kind of a thing. And no, I'm not saying the Hulk is able to breathe fire. I'm just using that as an example. What we talking about in the always a pissing contest with DC versus Marvel. Always a pissing contest, period, Keita. How the hell wasn't MCU Cap seriously concussed from that punch from Thanos? He was worthy, so he had the power of Thor. And I guess the power of Thor includes Thor's strength, durability. I'm trying. I am. She-Hulk was in that 100-ton category when I was a kid. Batman versus Vader. Exactly. That should have been a wrap. So for those of you that don't know what DC was talking about, there is a page. Well, there was a page on YouTube. I don't know if it's still there. It's called Bat in the Sun. And they do a series of videos, or they did a series of videos called Superpowered Beatdown, where they take two characters from different universes, scale them, and put them together in a fight and see who win. And it was live action too, so you had characters that were good. I mean, you had actors that were good fighters and martial artists, and their costumes looked, pretty close to realistic to the comic book version. So I'm like, why can't movies do that? This is some cats on a shoestring budget down in Southern California knocking out some quality stuff, but y'all can't get it right, MCU, DC. Yeah, I mean, check it out. It's good. But yeah, perfect example. Doesn't power scaling depend on whose storyline it is? Sorry about the grammar. It's late. Yes, that's exactly what I said, Grandma. It depends on the whim of the writer. If John Byrne wants Spider-Man to trounce the Hulk in Hulk's comic book, guess what? Hulk's getting trounced by Spider-Man in his own comic book. If Ta-Nehisi Coates wants T'Challa to have a whole intergalactic empire and it be canon, guess what? Oh, but we beware, T'Challa faithful, just as easily as he got an empire. Stroke of the pen can take it away. Bear that in mind. Stupid. Yes, I agree. Power scaling stupid. Now it's Omni-Man and Homelander versus the done scaled them up, and yeah, half from you and half from me, not taking into consideration the nature of anybody's power in that group. How we know there ain't some controllers, how we know there ain't some people who are telepaths, how we know there ain't some people that have the ability to, like Rogue can possess. Gideon can duplicate powers. Super Adaptoid can duplicate powers. Stop the cap. Thanos wasn't trying to kill him. Okay. Super strength with little to no invulnerability to me is stupid. I remember in Marvel Team Up 75, Spidey was hiding behind Cage when they were being shot at. I remember that comic. Just like when he and Bats had fusion like Goat. Stop. That part, D. That part. That part. That part. I I I can fight Heihachi with Zhao Yu, but if I don't get my combos going, Heihachi is knocking ass off in patches. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of a thing. What's up? Like the Hulk and Doomsday having abilities similar to Darwin. You know, it's like we have to make our characters more and more and more and more infinitely powerful. You know what I'm saying? And you got to have this. And you got to be ready for that. And you got to be, I remember a time when every superhero was not a master of martial arts. Every superhero did not know 27 different martial arts. You know why? Because when they came up against a hero or villain whose primary power was martial arts, it made them look more formidable. How exciting would the fight between Iron Fist and Captain America in Iron Fist comic, the John Byrne run, if all Captain America was doing was coming at him with martial arts? It kind of was, but Iron Fist is styling on it. And then we power scale, even with skills. Iron Fist, better practitioner in martial arts than Shang-Chi? No. Shang-Chi's a better practitioner. But you would think because Iron Fist can tap that chi, nah, just because you got Iron Fist don't mean you fight better than I do. The real bricks like soup should know hand-to-hand combat. Suppose he encounters a power dampener. Superman, being who he is, does not require a modicum of fight skills beyond a pugilist. You know, if we're going to talk about combat sports, any combat style or sport Superman will pick up, if any, wrestling and boxing, in my opinion, would be all Superman would need. Cap should have woke up 5 years later after getting punched by Thanos. Flashpoint Bats versus Killmonger was so dumb. I agree, because Killmonger should have won. Winter Soldier versus Red Hood, Black Canary versus Black Widow. I kind of enjoy Wonder Woman and Wolverine because they had an alternate version where both of them won. Yeah, that one was good too. But I would like to have seen one where the Predator got at him. Yep, RPG, same thing. You know, that's when power scaling works because you got a set stat. You know what I'm saying? And with power scaling, with comics and characters and manga and things like that, that ain't no set stat. Characters keep growing in strength. Characters keep waning in strength. How are you going to power? Well, then we're going to use Superman from that time in 1982 and he had the mullet. You know what I'm saying? We need to do an honor thread and show all the cool stuff Superman's done over the years. How many times has Superman been retconned and reimagined? And who comes up with the idea to combine every version of Superman and say, these are all the powers that Superman has coming into the fight against your character? MCU Cap struggled a little versus Batroc, but can go hard hand to hand, can go hand to hand versus Ultron and not end up in the ER. Power scaling is a joke when cats like Tony and T'Challa and Bruce and Reed and Michael Holt can just build something to take you down. And it would be great if it didn't happen all the time. If it wasn't commonplace. Oh, we got these smart guys. We just gonna build some stuff and beat your ass. He can, but why should you? Soups has the power advantage most times, but Alfred did beat that ass. Soups was holding back. Soups with the boxing skills of Tyson and wrestling skills of The Rock and their. See? Who fooling with that? Plus, I got heat vision. Plus, I got cold vision. Cold breath. Plus, I got, what was it? I got the solar flare. I got, bruh. Soups he's about as OP as a planetary character can get. Huh. And then I don't even think Superman planetary. Superman probably universal. So it sounds like everyone agrees with me that power scaling is something that we probably shouldn't do. Okay. So if I ever do any more verses, I'm going from the standpoint of practicality. You know what I'm saying? Even though we can't place practicality on a fictional character. Fictional characters at any time have the prerogative to be impractical. Yeah, D, the solar flare. So, it sounds like we all in the same boat. We all in the same boat, rocking the same. You know what, gang? It is time to pop this latest set of stuff I got on my haul. So a few things have come today. I'm going to set this aside for viewing later. And here we go. First item. I think I got some head sculpts, is what it was. I think they're like those head sculpts. Well, this one ain't it yet. But I do have some head sculpts. Oh, maybe this is Draghost Art is who this is from. You got a card. I'm gonna go ahead and plug you, y'all. That's Draghost Art, handmade with love, vinyl art, textile art, 3D printing, embroidery art. So there, if y'all want to see that contact info, I'll bring that in close for you. Just so you know. Oh, this is my sword. See, in order to make some stuff look good, it's gotta have the right kind of, accessories as well as material. That is a flaming sword. You get a good look at that. That's a flaming sword right there. For a 112 scale action figure, i.e., 6 inches. Like, man, that was kind of mediocre. Oh, I'm sorry. Dragoste. Dragoste. Art. Okay. Look like we got another. This is the heads right here. I'm pretty sure this is. Oh, wow. I like it when some stuff show up that you ain't expecting. Totally not expecting that. Oh. Oh. Okay. I know what you're going to say. You should already have that figure, D. I was thinking about doing a put the knife where it belongs photo shoot. And I discovered that I needed this Namor right here. And so I got one. Got it for a player's price too, man. Real cheapity cheap. So be looking for that. And you know me, I got the blood and stuff. I do it up. Be like, it's high time to try to run that fade on Namor because he been getting away with way too much. So fly away, little Namor. Fly. So yeah, we got that. So you can be looking for that good stuff. So this must be the head sculpts. Wow. Okay. So they're in a whole big old box. He made sure wasn't nothing happening to these head sculpts, didn't he? Yes. It is definitely going to be for use with one of my ninja. Either one of my ninja or I might pull out, you know what I'm saying, some D&D stuff, but I ain't focused on that right now. Okie dokie. Yep. See my folks right here. I get stuff. I had a few eBay shoppers or stores that I rock with on a pretty regular basis. Golden Lion Trading. Look for that on eBay. Oh, it's not the heads. Oh my goodness. The heads have not arrived, or the heads aren't. Yeah, I guess they aren't here yet. All that WrestleMania made me want to get a. Probably need to run some hot water on this puppy. Okay, she got some fuel. Got the OG look. Got the OG look. Got the OG look. Got the OG look. I like that. I like that one right there. I could do something with that. 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 So I'm waiting on these heads, huh? Huh. Okay. I thought they would have been here already. And looky there. The legs bend. Yeah, see what happened when you take those knee pads off? Pause. Anyway, last topic of the night, y'all. And I have been kind of thrilled about this one for a little while. When it came to me, when I had the revelation, I was like, ding. I done had this sitting on my shelf for years and years and years, and I never even gave it any kind of thought. Also, too, I got my little headstands. See, I can put them on a headstand, and then you can paint them on here, and you don't have to worry about them moving or jerking. Cause see, that stays on there pretty. Doesn't move around much at all. So you can get your paint on that one, and I got that one for Kofi Kingston, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, all day, y'all, all day. Got my headstands, ready to. I am not going to use a sentence with the word head in it. Anyway, cause folks gonna take that the wrong way. Okay, stop me if you've heard this one. Well, don't stop me, but you just say stop me. You don't really want people to stop you, but you say stop me, but you don't want them to stop you. Stop me if you've heard this one. You wake up. It's early in the morning. It's early on a Saturday morning, about 7 or 8 o'clock. You need you a bowl of cereal. You need you a nice place to sit, which is dead in front of the TV. And you about to do this right here. You about to rock with some Saturday morning cartoon. How many of you are old enough to remember the Saturday morning cartoon era? When did the Saturday morning cartoon era begin, D? I'm so glad y'all asked. 1960s. Look at all these sweet pictures. I messed with those. Bobby's World, Battle of the Planets, Johnny Quest, Josie and the Pussycats. That wasn't my Saturday morning cartoons. Here we go. We're going to get to, let's see, my era. Right around here. I don't care nothing about no Bobby's World. There go my era right there. That's my era right there. Casey Kasem as the voice of Rob. That was my era, son. That was my era, son. That was my era, son. That was my era right there. Bugs Bunny stayed on its syndication, didn't it? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of cartoons in here I didn't really care for, if I'm being honest. Admittedly, not a huge Jetsons fan, but I did like Rosie. Mr. J. I liked her. Paul Martin will appreciate that one. Was it just me, or was Johnny Quest's dad like the most negative human being on earth? Now, because of the popularity of like spy movies and international intrigue, you had James Bond and Derek Flint, our man Flint, Man from Uncle, all that kind of stuff is what prompted the Johnny Quest era. And the Johnny Quest era gave way to the superhero era. You know what I'm saying? And who had a cooler opening theme song than Johnny Quest? I mean, it was cool. It was cool, jazzy for the era. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It had horns in it, and you know what I'm saying? And it was just, oh man, it was just so jazzy. You go look up the theme to Johnny Quest, and it was fun. You know what I'm saying? And of course, not as cool an opening theme, but Underdog had bars, didn't he? Underdog had bars. You know what I'm saying? When Polly's in trouble, I am not slow. It's hip, 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 and away. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He gave. You have Johnny Quest to thank for this. You have Johnny Quest to thank for this era. And perhaps my all-time fave, bro, is Space Ghost. I got a Space Ghost action figure. I don't know. I'm gonna have to dig for it. But yeah, it's yeah. Space Ghost was my dude, man. And then you got a picture of Gary Owens right there. Rest in peace, Gary Owens, the original voice of Space Ghost. Space Ghost, call like John and James. You know what I'm saying? He had that real deep, bassy voice. He was also the announcer on a TV show called Laugh-In. I am too young to remember actual Laugh-In when it premiered, but I saw it in syndication. It was kind of a sketch comedy ish kind of show, I guess. A hippie version of In Living Color. In Living Color, I guess is the best way I could describe that. But yeah, we went hard with Space Ghost, man. We went hard with Space Ghost. And then along came the 70s, you know what I mean? And that was the era of shows, you know. Did it. I liked the Pink Panther. I liked Inspector Clouseau on the Pink Panther. Let me be honest. Okay. Never was a huge Scooby-Doo fan. Never was. People be looking at me like, are you out of your mind? You didn't like. Never was a huge Josie and the Pussycats fan. Never, ever, ever. Why? Because I felt like Scooby-Doo was the formula, and then all them shows that came after Scooby-Doo were as formulaic as Scooby-Doo. It was teenagers getting into stuff they ain't no business getting into, solving a mystery, finding out a monster ain't really a monster or somebody fake. Yeah. And it was just, that was Hanna-Barbera. They rocking it out. They the Chan Clan, they were just cranking them out. You know what I'm saying? Jabberjaw, this crank, Speed Buggy, this crank, same kind of formula, like 9, 10 different shows using that same formula. I guess I'm hating because I didn't do it. Anyway. Hey, these are the women who voiced Josie and the Pussycats. Do you recognize that blonde hair gal? I didn't know that. Color me surprised. So, oh wow. Cheryl Ladd did a voice on Josie and the Pussycats. Wow. Go figure, man. That is something else. Now we talk about the 70s. If you watch cartoons in the 70s, can't tell me you ain't watched that one. Can't tell me you ain't watched that one. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm stuck up here on Capitol Hill. Oh, he's off to the White House. Well, we'll sit and debate. I love that show, man. I love that show. You know, Mother Necessity, where would we be? Conjunction. I got that CD too. I got the CD. I got the DVD and the CD with all of them songs on there. You have asked me that before, Mr. Martin. Yes, I remember HR Puffin stuff. I remember Livingsville. I remember Sigmund and the Sea Monsters. I remember Land of the Lost. Yes, I do. And I watched all that. Look at you. Inner planet Janet, she's a galaxy girl. Her solar system is from a future where she travels like a rocket with the. See, you got me. And then this took us through a whole decade. You see how long that show ran? That show ran from 73 to 86, all incarnations included. Wow. Hey, why is why is Batman hugging Robin like that? And why is Superman S backwards? Because Superman, my daddy. Thank you for loving me, daddy. You ever watch Ace Bang? Ace Bang be having me rolling, bro. Oh, remember that old Tarzan? Remember that old Tarzan used to come on CBS? That was a cool little show. But they reused like same kind of animation cells. They would reuse their cells a lot. You know what I'm saying? So some of the same animation cells that they would use in this Tarzan cartoon back in 76, they used those same cells for the Flash Gordon cartoon in like the 1980s. So yeah. Now see, Battle of the Planets, that was more of an after school show than a Saturday morning show. At least where I was living. I was living in the Midwest, and whenever we watched Battle of the Planets, it was like after school. You know what I'm saying? G-Force, or if you really got into it, Gotcha Man. The Science Ninja Team Gotcha Man. Yeah. See here, they had the two versions of the names of the primary characters in Battle of the Planet. Ken, who was the leader, that's the white one, the eagle, was known as Mark in Battle of the Planets. Joe, the condor, the brown one, the other slick looking cool one, he was known as Jason in Battle of the Planets. June became princess in Battle of the Planets. Jinpei became Kiop. And I guess Hootie's Hootie. Well, no, Hootie became Tiny. Ninja Team. Ha! And then, of course, there was the 80s. And y'all know what happened from there. You know what I mean? The 80s was good. The 90s was better. But we never recaptured this era. You know what I mean? Of just sitting in front of the TV, vibing, having that kind of energy. Just, if you had siblings, you could sit there with siblings and y'all could like just kind of bug out to what was going on the screen. And if you didn't, when you went outside, there was this thing that we used to do called going outside and just playing and hanging out and seeing your friends as opposed to texting them all day and say, hey, did you see that episode of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends? They had Swarm on there. That kind of a thing, you know? Can we take the time to appreciate the Japanese ability to take something mundane and make it sound cool? Just make it sound official. Yeah, Science Ninja Team. Those are three words that were never spoken in the same sentence ever. Science Ninja Team. I don't think I ever said science and ninja together or team and ninja together. I never called a group of ninjas a team. They were always a clan. You know what I'm saying? And even at the most mundane, a gang of ninjas is jumping through the trees, So, indeed, I agree 100%, Kamoya. Schoolhouse Rock. She loves some Schoolhouse Rock too. Yep, we got some Schoolhouse Rock. That's because cartoons are marketed to even younger kids. The animation these days isn't even as good. I know, bro. I know. But still, that was a simpler time. And I guess things are not that simple anymore. We don't look at things that simply, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Um, we grow up too. But I mean, when you have stuff like that available, whether it's available on Tubi, whether it's available on Freevee on Amazon or on Con TV, which is also available on Amazon. Um, I was I was watching Cops the other day. Remember that cartoon, Cops? And I'm bulletproof. Yeah, love that show. That show was cool. The 80s was the era of giving characters cool nicknames. You know what I'm saying? I don't think no other cartoon franchise had cooler names than the Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe, or Transformers. Nobody was fading the names in them three cartoons. Them three cartoons had some cold names in them. Oh my good. Long Arm. Big Boss. Miss Demeanor. Bruh. Yes, she was a female. So she was Miss Demeanor before Missy was. Bruh. They put more into it, more everything into it. More everything into it. You know what I'm saying? Silverhawks, Thundercats, Street Sharks. Exactly. Hey, speaking of which, did y'all hear that Paramount is making a live action The Last Ronin movie? Are we familiar with the last? And it's gonna be R rated. Who down for The Last Ronin live action rated R? Okay. Okay. What is The Last Ronin? You might ask. Because I ain't seen nobody respond to it, or maybe it's just the delay. Um, The Last Ronin takes place in a dystopic future of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And all of the turtles are dead except one. And he gritty, grimy, greasy as he want to be. Think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meets Mad Max. Bruh, I'm there for that. I am so freaking there for that. Now, it is that time, y'all. Boom. Q&A, baby. Q&A. You got questions? I got answers. Holla at your boy. It's Q&A time. Y'all got something that's on your mind? Go on, get it off. Say it with your chest already. Take a sip of this, wet my whistle. Give it to me. What y'all got? What y'all got? Your griot awaits. I listened to a lot of mechanics today out the Bay Area. Y'all like the mechanics? Y'all should listen to it. If you like bass and slappers, get you some mechanics. Put that on. and it's spelled Mekanix. Yes, I did, sir. I put it in a lot of my text groups. And yeah, yes, I knew. 76. Orenthal James Simpson, no longer with us. Now, here's my question. What is OJ more famous for? If you live action or relaunch a cartoon, which one would it be? There are many cartoons. There are so many cartoons that I would like to do a live action relaunch a cartoon. Honestly, Space Ghost, or my eclectic weird version would be Mummies Alive. Eh? Does the Rice situation make wide receivers y'all primary draft need, or does Hollywood fix that? Nah, we need another one. Because if Rashee Rice ain't gonna be around, we're gonna need somebody gonna be productive. While Hollywood Brown is fast, he's not that cat that's gonna get you yak in traffic. Greetings, B, and everyone in the chat. Are you reading Ultimate X-Men? Nope. I am reading Ultimate Black Panther, though. Thank you for asking. Did you hear about the G.I. Joe Transformer crossover? Yeah. Yes, I did. He's watching Mummies Alive. That'd be a dope show. If you take that that would be one instance where I'd be like, go ahead and color swap that kid. Cause I would rather it be he be the descendant of a black descendant versus a white descendant. That's literally the only issue I have with that cartoon. Other than that, great freaking cartoon. Okay, top five cartoons. Of course, Space Ghost. Are we talking about from that era, like the 70s and 80s, or are we talking about top five cartoons of all time? Gotta be specific. It makes a difference. So yeah, Kamoyo, are we talking just like top five all time? Because top five all time, man, I mean, are we talking about top five in like American made cartoons? Are we talking about cartoons from the 80s? Does anime count? Does like imported stuff from Japan count, like Speed Racer and Hurricane Polymar and Battle of the Planets, that kind of stuff? All time, just like all time. Because if you say all time, top five, I can't name just five. Top five of any era. Okay, so I'm gonna do it like this. My top five shows from the 60s and 70s. My top five shows from the 80s. My top five shows from the 90s, and my top five shows from the 2000s. Okay, so 60s and 70s. Space Ghost. Herculoids. Super Friends. Hong Kong Phooey. And anything like Bugs Bunny, Looney Tunes related. Okay. 80s. the of course, the big three: G.I. Joe, Transformers, and He-Man. Um, and probably if I had to pick another like two top dogs that was in there, but was eclectic. I was always impartial to the Galaxy Rangers, um, and Marshall Bravestar. 90s, of course, X-Men, of course, Batman anime series, the Spider-Man from the 90s, the Fantastic Four from the 90s, and 90s. That Hulk show was pretty dope too. All that Marvel stuff, Iron Man, all that. And of course, Mummy's Lie. That's more than five, but bruh, 2000s, was, other than, them X-Men's, and I watched a lot of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z in the early late 90s, early 2000s. Watched a lot of like manga. And I'm talking about like manga as the company, the animation company manga, when they did manga, like when they did stuff like Ninja Scroll and Red Hawk, Helsing, a lot of that kind of stuff, Berserk. I watched a lot of that stuff too. So there you go. You got an engaging story. I'll pretty much watch it. And I would love to see a lot of that stuff live action. I mean, depending on if you can make it look realistic. Absolutely. I mean, who wouldn't want to see a live action Space Ghost? Space Ghost flying through space and blasting mugs with different rays and fighting big goofy monsters. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I got another, and anyone can answer. Which Black Panther or any Black superhero run would you do in animated? Black Panther. Black Panther. Me, I got Black Panther. I'm gonna do Black Panther. That's me. I'm gonna do Black Panther. So, yeah. A close runner-up, Blood Syndicate. I would love to see a Blood Syndicate animated series. Because we always tried to, I feel like that they had a really engaging dynamic going on in Blood Syndicate. I would love to see all the hardware, icon, and I'd love to see all the milestone characters animated. I mean, I know Static Shock was cool, but Static Shock was like a good clean version. I want the gritty Dakota. Great, what you talking about over here? Robotech, Voltron, left out Voltron. Transformers, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, He-Man, Johnny Quest, Silverhawks, Brave Star, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. That's fair. Yes, a Blood Syndicate cartoon would go hard, sir, and I would be there for it. Okay. That's all y'all got for me, man. I'm gonna get ready. To call it an evening. Let y'all go ahead and go to bed, so I can go downstairs and eat because we're having breakfast for dinner. Breakfast for dinner always goes hard in the paint, man. So I'm with that, y'all. I appreciate y'all coming out tonight, sitting in, engaging. I appreciate all the people that came out engaged. Groovy Gray, D Diesel, Kamoyo, Paul Martin, Grand Madam, Afro, SF, Ian Z, Comic 70. I'm going to call you Ian's Comic 78. There. That's too much stuff to say. Mask. I forgot about Mask. Thundercats, Orbots. See, we be here all day talking about cartoons, bro. Real talk. Bowery Boys and Kung Fu movies on Saturdays. Soul Train and Kung Fu movies for me, bro. I feel you though. In that college football. Yeah, we gonna get up. We gonna get up, get down. We gonna slide on up out of here. Y'all pull up tomorrow for the Friday Vibing. Friday Vibing with D-Real and Theo. I believe it's gonna be on Theo's channel this weekend. If it's not, y'all know. I'm gonna check up on my notifications, y'all, and see what the heck is going on. Because y'all ain't getting notifications. That's a crime, bro. Y'all need to get this bomb content. And be looking for that video on power scaling sometime this weekend. That's it for now, y'all. But fret not. We'll be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.